That's
Are we live? All right, we'll call the meeting to order. It is 6:30 PM on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Do we have any additions to the agenda for tonight?
I just have, Windsor County Sheriff, responded to my request for some numbers, and they sent those this afternoon. And I don't know if that needs to be part of the agenda, or I'll just give everybody a copy.
Right, because it's too late to get it in the town report or
Yes.
anything like that.
We're waiting for
I
the proof,
do-
so I can swap them out if we don't.
Well, what's interesting is that it says, they look forward to continuing to serve the residents of Tunbridge. So.
I knew they weren't gonna.
So-
It inspires great confidence that those numbers are
Yeah,
ours.
exactly. So anyhow, we can talk about it at the end.
Okay, okay.
If we have executive.
I definitely would expect that we will, well, I guess we'll talk about timing and stuff. That was something that I added because I wasn't sure if it was going to be part of your administrative update. It's just, I know it's repetitive, but like going through again, like the timing on when does the report get back, proofing it, getting it delivered, it's the town meeting, all that stuff. So, and then the other thing I added, but I don't see Gail here, maybe if we can ask her to come to the next thing, is I wanted to get a bit more clarity on the email she sent about the listers and the tax rates and some of that stuff.
Yeah, she didn't prepare something. She was talking about that, but we need to get some more information.
Okay, so since she's not here, we'll postpone that maybe till the next meeting. Okay. Any other additions to the agenda from anyone? Yep, okay. Do we have any conflict of interest to disclose tonight? That sounds like a no. Public comments. We have Andy Pomerantz here. Hello, public. Yeah, do you mind moving closer so you're on the recording? I think the key is if you can be closer to the owl, which is the microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Pull up the chair.
So I'm here with sort of the public comment and update to a couple of things. I was at a select board meeting back in May of 2023. I didn't realize it was that long ago. And talking about a number of things, including the community listserv. Back 20 years ago, Council on Rural Development came and did a community visit and did a lot of planning, long-term strategic planning. And one of the things that they had focused a lot of energy on, thought about, is we need a way to communicate with people. We need a way for people to know what's going on. Talk a lot about the bulletin board next to Will's and a few other things. We started a website soon after that. And several iterations of that. And one of the things that eventually grew out of it was after, Philip Mulligan, Chris Byrne and I had led the community discussion about how to spend the ARPA money. And part of that was to build a listserv to continue to have some conversation online with each other. Of course, nobody did. So the listserv started with 35 people who were on it, who had been at that meeting. And then gradually, at this point, it's about 140 people, I think, something like that. Most from Chelsea. But what the select board was going to do was going to use it as one of the places to post information for the townspeople. That never really happened. And I had kind of hesitated to really spread the word around a lot, say, well, if you want to know what's going on in town, take a look here. I wanted to wait and make sure that it happened. So it didn't happen. So I never did that. But word of mouth, it gradually grew. What it has become at this point is it's been used mostly for like nonprofit groups to publicize stuff. some of the schools that Chelsea kids attend, well, White River Valley does, Thetford Academy does. I haven't seen any of the other schools that Chelsea kids go to. I don't think, Sharon has done a couple of times, various things. It's been, kind of restricted, primarily to advertising events in Chelsea. Local businesses and services available to people in Chelsea. It has taken a fair amount of, no, to keep people from, posting stuff they shouldn't be posting. I've had to throw a few people off the list, block a few people. But over 3 years, it's kind of mellowed out. It's very steady. So I'm here, for two reasons. One is to see whether you want to start using it more, enough that I would post something about it and let people know. So it'd be more than word of mouth. There would be maybe something on Front Porch Forum saying this is available. It's another way. There's no way to get everybody, but between all the other things, there are enough things you get most of the people. And if you were wanting to start publicizing more stuff, select board agendas or announcements, emergency information, whatever, I would go ahead and make some kind of public statement, say that this is available. I don't know what will happen when I do that. I'm on a couple of other listservs. Berkshire listserv is kind of threatened right now. I mean, they don't have anybody to run it, and theirs may disband it unless somebody steps up. Tunbridge, I talked to Fred Pond the other day. He keeps a tight lid on that, like I do. So it's only 3 or 4 posts a day. Thetford is wide open. Anybody can post, and there can be like 30 or 40 posts a day on that, and people can choose whether to get posts as they come up, or get them all in the daily digest. Hard to get emergency messages in daily digest. So I just wanted to see what you folks do with that, and since it's related to ARPA, whether there's any more ARPA action to be had. There were a lot of suggestions, a lot of thoughts people had, a lot of good brainstorming. A lot of the stuff, actually, when you come right down to it, doesn't require any money. And there are ways that people could probably make some of that stuff happen, whether that should be pursued or not. But the main reason right now for my being here is to talk about the listserv and what to do with it. I'm fine keeping it as it is. Fine adding, we're seeing more stuff from Chelsea government.
Yeah, I think I was in the audience as a member of the public when you were bringing that up a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
Can you clarify for me, when you were talking about the ARPA funding, were you thinking of using ARPA funds to actually, I don't know what expenses are associated with
There's no
the service.
expenses.
Okay, so the ARPA funding isn't
Yeah,
really
it's just
to pay for the free.
right.
listserv.
No, it came up.
You were gonna solicit
with
ideas
ARPA
for the.
because I needed a good excuse to start a listserv. And because I managed listservs with thousands of people on it when I was working. And so I got pretty comfortable with it. I thought, well, maybe we do that here.
And you're willing to do this again?
Well, I'm willing
This
to keep
is
doing it. I've been doing it. Chris Byrne was on it as the co-manager because I needed somebody
Right.
to be a backup, and I had somebody who was going to do it, but was too busy and said she would do it, but never did. So I finally let Chris off the hook. Like I had promised, if you do this, you don't have to do anything, so he didn't do anything. So I just told him a couple of weeks ago that he could stop not doing anything, and right now Jill is my backup.
You know,
That's my
I
wife.
think you and I had talked about it, and one of the reasons I got off of that listserv is because of the grumbling.
Yeah, there was
I
an
just-
outbreak.
There's enough to be annoyed with.
Oh, yeah,
around the
no,
world, and I
I'm
don't
used
wanna
to
be
that. I think there's a lot less stuff than on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which I don't,
So it's,
I use it when I have to. And I think the other listservs that I've managed, there's usually in the early days
Yeah,
until the heavy hand of the law starts throwing people off the list or threatening to, or even just have to call people around then when that was happening.
right.
I was also around the time of the fracas over the road commissioner, foreman.
Yeah,
That fracas and that I got started to get a little bit of, there's some stuff about world peace, We don't need, we can't do world peace here.
Not a free
Well,
list.
it starts, it does start at home, we know that.
Yeah, we can do local piece. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to use that. That's one of those things that the previous board never said to post on that, so I have access to it. And I know I posted up for the informational meeting just to get as
Yeah,
much
right.
as I could out there, but I'm happy to put the agenda and minutes with everything else I post up.
Yeah, I mean, once you've used it a few times, all you usually have to do is type in Chelsea or something
Yeah,
on an email. Be one of the things that pops up.
yeah, it doesn't take much time. It's just trying to keep up, like I've had a couple people say, oh, can you post it on here? Can you post it on here? And it's just kind of hard to keep up with all of them, but that I can do pretty easily.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can certainly take this in. Maybe a good thing, in our organizational meeting or shortly after town meeting. Right, we go through and we list what the paper of record is and some of the other stuff like that too. Maybe we should look at our sort of overall communication strategy. Because I know that one of the things in terms of being transparent is trying to make sure that that's proactive transparency, not just the thing that says, oh, what's been posted in the basement for 5 years, you should have known. So on the one hand, I want to make sure that, yeah, we're proactively trying to reach out and contact as many people as we can. There's a practical method of just trying to say, well, we can't literally go feed like 1,000.
Right, you can't, and, websites, one of the principles of communication, as you, I'm sure you know, is minimize the number of clicks people have to do.
Yeah.
If I have to go to something, I'm less likely to do it, less likely. I will sometimes get a notification, I still have a Facebook account, Chelsea Select Board has posted something. Okay, I'll go look, but then I can't find it, and I have to click around with it.
Do you use Daybreak? Do you look
Yes.
at Daybreak, Rob
I get
Gurwitz?
Daybreak, I get Side Note, Thetford, I get 3
The-
listservs.
One of the things Rob Gurwitz requires when you submit something to be posted is a website associated with the thing that you're announcing. So if I'm, like I posted about the Writers Read last Friday, and I put the Chelsea Library website because then people could go to that and see all the other events that are posted through the library. So that might be one of the ways.
Oh, it's funny you say that. I was actually just thinking, because I know I've seen Kate post on the listserv before about library events.
Yeah.
And I was thinking as part of our communication, it would be nice if the library and the town are maybe using the same channels of communication.
Yeah.
So that somebody's not thinking they're signed up for all the town stuff, but only getting library stuff or vice versa.
I know at one point on the town website, a few years ago, there was an option to sign up for a listserv coming out of the website. I signed up for it at the time, never saw anything come of that. I don't know.
Talk to the gal that used to manage the website, and she used to post on that a lot. Maybe it got lost because they had the old website and then we upgraded to the new one, so I can look into that. But yeah, with the organizational meeting, we can go through and establish which is our different means of communication.
Well, I know this has been a little bit of an extended public comment, but does anybody have any other questions for Andy at this point? Or do you have anything else to add, Andy?
I don't dare. I'm gonna go. You know what happens once I get started.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay,
Well, thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Andy.
you for coming.
Thanks, Andy.
Do we have any other public comments?
Put a topic on the list, Greg.
What was that?
Put a topic on the list so that it'll pop.
Thank you again.
Oh, thank you.
Every
Have a
time.
good night.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Andy. All right. Next item is approving minutes from we had a bunch of January 5th meeting, January 9th meeting, and the January 20th meeting. I think we should probably do these individually. I think is the appropriate way to go through that. So if we start with the January 5th meeting,
I'll move.
oh, sorry, 6th meeting.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the January 6th meeting.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. The next one is, sorry, multitasking. The next one is the January 9th special meeting.
I'll move to approve, minutes from the January 9th.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, do you have a position or
I'm gonna
abstain?
abstain.
Okay,
I don't think I was at that one.
that,
Those are
we
both
still
for-
have enough votes to pass that. And then the January 20th meeting.
I'll move to approve that one.
No, second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Okay. That brings us to, let's see, we've got a whole bunch of highway stuff. Do we want to, I know we've got a highway thing for executive session too. Do we want to stack that together? Because Rick's gonna have to stay anyway, right?
Yeah, we have Jody and Chase online too, so I want to see if we could skip to them first before we get into that. So they could do their update and get on out of here.
Yep, that is fine. So let's, yeah, jump to that. So Jody or Chase, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, it's Jody Hoyt, the new community nurse of Chelsea. I was just giving an update. I don't know, can you guys hear me very well?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So I'm just gonna I want to be quick. I know that I kind of wanted to give you guys an update so you guys are prepared for town meeting. So that if anyone has any questions, obviously specific questions, they can come to Chase or I, but just so that everybody's kind of on the same page of what I've been up to. So I started on October 1st. I wasn't allowed to see people in their homes. So the statistics I sent Tierney, I don't know if she was able to get them and print them for you yet, but I'm sure she will. The statistics you're going to see are from October 1st until the end of the last day of December. However, that first month of October, my insurance wasn't ready for me to go in home visits yet. So I didn't get to see people in their homes until November. So just take that into account when the percentage of like home visits is only like 16% or something. It's because I wasn't able for a month of that time able to go in, but so anyway, so currently I have 22 active clients. That would be meaning active means I regularly talk to them, see them. If it's just a one-time help, they came to me, they did a vaccination clinic, etc. That would be an inactive client. So that's just defining what active means. It means that I'm helping 22 people regularly, talking to them on a usually monthly basis is usually the definition. I'm getting new intakes from Gifford, Alice Pecte, Dartmouth, First Branch, and honestly, self-referrals are being at the top of the list. We established a Neighbors Helping Neighbors program and coordinating with them, in which we've been helping with rides, shoveling, plowing, and other practical needs for clients. And they're working on their own, so people could reach out to them directly or they could refer to me, but we're kind of working as a team to get that program going so it's strong like other towns. I established a community nursing board in which I have, I think, 6 Chelsea, one person's a double resident, but that are volunteers that joined, and they're meeting with me regularly and helping me with like kind of administrative stuff. For example, the medical closet, they help me with donations. They're helping me with potentially in the future with fundraising ideas and logistical wise. And they're just a nice group of Chelsea residents that are helping me what Chelsea, kind of giving a voice for Chelsea of what residents might want for community events or, yeah, they're just helpful. They're very helpful people, and anyone can join the community board. So anyone who's interested, I know this is a public forum, they're welcome to come and join my community nursing board and get more involved, or if you just want to attend a meeting to find out what's going on. On the preventative care side, I held 2 cardiovascular clinics in Chelsea this fall. We had 11 or 12 attendees for the second one. And then the first one was a combination with a vaccination clinic in which I had 37 attendees, in which were Chelsea residents. I never got the official number of how many were Chelsea because the pharmacist never got back to me with the location, but I would say that 75% of them were Chelsea residents. There was a few that traveled in, a couple Tunbridge, a couple Berkshire, but most of the clients that came in to get their vaccinations were Chelsea residents. And that is a very successful clinic for rural Vermont, just letting you know. Almost 40 people. I was blown away that they came. I'm starting a blood pressure cuff program at the library. I got a grant to the American Heart Association, so they're going to donate blood pressure cuffs to the library for Chelsea residents to take out like a book. And then it'll have all my information so that when they get numbers or they need help with that data, they can call me. Or if I need to recommend someone or the Chelsea Health Center or a provider needs to send a blood pressure cuff home with a Chelsea resident, we can refer them to the library. So it's going to be a great program. I'm super excited about it. So that's upcoming. And then just statistical wise, really quick, let's see. So it looks like, so preventing hospital ED visits is at 20, almost 30 incidences in the 2025, reducing anxiety and, relieving stress. I affected 87 people. I was able to do that. Reducing social isolation was about 69 residents that I was able to. And some of these residents could coincide with the same, like it could be I prevented an ED visit and I reduced a fall. I reduced up to 20, it's almost 30 fall risks. I reduced and improved medication errors was at 24. So 24 incidents that I reduced a medication error in Chelsea for the 2025. So that would have been pretty much from November, December. So these statistics are pretty thing. We'll obviously see a lot bigger numbers when it's the entire year. I mostly saw a lot of impaired mobility, diabetes education, ineffective symptom management, and again, like I said, majority of the referrals would come from First Branch at this point, because they had a list waiting for me. Family and neighbors was at 23%, and then that 19% was the emergency department for that time, and then Beata Hospice was a small amount. I was able to help some 2 people get a DNR and slash advanced directive. And I was able to provide diabetes education to 10% of people, which would be that 22 client caseload. So we have a lot of diabetes education in Chelsea. And then I did start a Chelsea medical supply closet. I'm really excited about, and I included that brochure with some inventory to you guys just to see that I've been working hard. So we've got a lot done. We made a waiver agreement with First Branch so that it protects the town, it protects First Branch, it protects me, so that if someone does borrow an equipment and something unfortunately happens, at least we're all protected. So that took Chase and I a little bit to get that agreement and get the First Branch board to approve it. But so that's all done. And then the Grange stepped up this month, and they are willing to let me use the Grange building to store my equipment for temporarily until I can find something closer. So I had a bunch of volunteers help me move my equipment to that building. I want to say a week and a half ago, and the Chelsea Health Board donated a new lock. And so there's keys. I have keys, and First Branch has keys, and Chelsea has their first ever medical closet, and it's been a huge success. People have been using it left and right this month, and been super exciting. So exciting things. I will not be able to make town meeting for Chelsea because Tunbridge requires me to do my in-person report. And because I have First Branch in Chelsea, Chase will do my Chelsea report. I will do my Tunbridge. So if you have any questions at town meeting, Chase will be there and be prepared, or First Branch will. Trying to think I am doing a cardiovascular clinic at town meeting. I just have to double check if the library will allow the nurses to use a space. It would be cholesterol check, blood pressure, and blood glucose. And the nurses from Dartmouth are all ready, just like they did for me. I don't have to be there this time. They're going to bring an extra nurse, and they would check the residents' cholesterol. Maybe we don't want them checking everybody's blood pressure after the meeting, but they are there if you need it. And just kind of making awareness that they'll have my card and information if anybody's interested in the community nurse program.
Great.
Thanks, Jody.
Yeah, thank you, Jody. Appreciate that. And yeah, certainly the types of numbers you're talking about and with regards to things like emergency department visits that didn't happen, medication mix-ups that didn't happen, right? Those sorts of things are really helpful because that was the whole point of this in the first place. So yeah, appreciate you running through that. We will definitely want to make sure at our informational meeting that we have this in some sort of, slide projectorable format that we can share. I don't know if you're available for the informational meeting, Jody, or if Chase might be available to speak to that as well.
When is that meeting?
February 18th at 6:30.
Okay, I will try my best to be there. If not, Chase or Liz or I will figure it out from First Branch. I also have, and I don't know when, maybe that informational meeting, I did have some residents write some really lovely messages, and I would like to read a little bit of passage from it. I don't know if you guys have 2 seconds, but I would like to read. Someone did take their time to write this, and it was, so I am gonna, you will see me pause for a second because I just want to take out their name because this is a public forum and I don't want to give out any health information. But this client wrote, "I'm writing to emphasize the essential contribution that the community nurse Jody had made to the well-being of health of not only my family member, I'll say, and the Chelsea community. Her work extends far beyond healthcare settings and impacted my family members' quality of life and for myself. It's no secret that the community of Chelsea is not getting any younger, and I feel the community nurse has been an absolute necessity and has helped me feel more safe and get demanding care in my aging self, my family member, and other residents. Many residents are limited with transportation, unsure where resources will be, and they may have to go without care, and it's affecting their quality of life. Having Jody in this community nurse position has been assuring to me and other individuals security and so much more. We're able to receive care within our homes, and speaking from my own personal experience, Jody was so much help with me and came to my aftercare for my family member. He recently suffered a major heart attack, and I was so thankful to know who to speak with. Her presence in the community and knowing her from a young child itself, growing up in Chelsea, has made it more accepting and allowing her into our home welcomingly. Anyone who knows, I'll say family member because she mentioned his name, and myself knows that he's not good about going to the doctors or any aftercare. She was able to help him more and was so knowledgeable in easing his pain and honestly his unknowingness for his disease. My father would never even have bothered aftercare services if it wasn't for Jody. She helped me with insurance. She figured out new changes. We are both so thankful for her service, for her care, and I hope the town of Chelsea realizes how important this resource is for the aging, not even aging members, but other members. Community nurses are the front lines of preventative care, and they build so much. Please, I just want to write to you to appreciate Jody and her care." So that was a message from, and I have a couple more, but I figured we could share at a different time. But my clients have been wonderful and very grateful of anything. And so I just, she wanted me to share that with you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jody. That definitely echoes what we heard during the considerations on this of what other communities were seeing from this sort of program. We do have other items we need to get through, but Chase, I don't know if you have anything to add before I ask the other board members if they've got questions or comments.
I think Chase was here for moral support.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think she pretty well hit on anything that I had to bring up.
Okay.
But I can try to make sure that someone's there for the informational meeting.
Yeah. So I guess, I just have one question for you, Chase, which is, again, part of the reasoning of doing this was the idea that this would actually reduce the burden on your team for dealing with non-emergency situations. Is that panning out?
It will with time. I think we're still a little new into this program. So it's still trying to get it out there, but we have seen it in some areas, but it some growing pains, I will say, but we will get there.
Yep.
I agree. I think it took about a year for Bridge to really see the big effect. I mean, it takes time, and I'm only 10 hours a week, so I'm doing the best I can. I came in hot with Chelsea, meaning I had a lot, like I already have a waiting list now. I have 22 active clients with only 10 hours. So I think I'm doing the best I can for the hours I have. But I think other two, we're figuring out internally what the barriers are of how I can help more, but we're getting to the bottom of it, and hopefully it'll start fanning itself out.
Yeah, I was just thinking, theoretically, a lot of those emergency room visits that didn't have to happen, I'm sure some portion of those would have gone by ambulance as opposed to personal car or whatever, so. Other board members, any questions for Jody or Chase?
Thank you for the comprehensive look at what you're doing. Really appreciate the time that you took to do that too.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we'll leave it there. Again, if you can check on whether or not, it's not the end of the world if somebody can't be at the informational meeting, but we will want to make sure we at least have a slide that summarizes some of those numbers and everything so that we can share that with the public in that form too. Okay.
I did send it to Tierney. I'm not sure. It was a pretty big gigabyte email, so I don't know if she was able to open it or anything. So we'll just double check that, make sure that can get through, or I have to drop it off by hand or whatever.
Yeah, I don't see anything in my email, but yeah, if you want to drop it off, I could just scan it in and share it with everybody.
Yeah, I sent it at like noon. So.
All right. Great. Thank you,
Thanks,
Jody.
guys.
Thank you, Chase.
Chase, thank you, Jody.
Thank you.
That's great.
All right. Do we want to hit the town administrator update before I know Rick is eager to get into all the highway stuff, but are there other things we should knock off?
Yeah, I can just go really quick. I will check in with the printer tomorrow. I sent everything to them on Friday. Usually it takes them a couple of days to compile everything, put it into PDF format for us, and then send it over. So I'll see when they can get that, and I'll also see if they have any kind of rush order for the reports, just to make sure that we can get it in good time. I don't know if we'll have it before the informational meeting. If we had done the informational meeting that week after, so the week before town meeting, we would have for sure had them, but so I'm not totally sure. And then since.
But we're regardless of that, we're still okay in terms of delivery.
Yeah.
Required delivery timeline, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And did we ever figure out with the post office? How does that?
I think last meeting we figured out that we would just do it how we normally do. So everybody local will just have to go to the post office anyway to get their mail. I think that's
The same way you would
easiest.
any of your other bills or?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
there's a mailman still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't anticipate that they're gonna have somebody new soon, so we're just gonna go through
Yeah.
normal, so all of the out of town stuff can get out.
Yeah.
And then local stuff, people will just have to pick it up.
Yeah, yeah, it's not like if people are getting their tax forms mailed to them, it's not like they get hand delivered or something. They're gonna be in the same bin in the post office too, right? So, okay.
Yep, and I'll make sure that we push out some information that says, hey, just a reminder that since there is no mail person, you'll have to go in person, so.
Okay.
Did we decide on our art? For the town report covers?
Yeah, Jen put together a nice cover, so we went with that one.
Is there anything flannel on it? No?
The whole cover is gonna be made of
Just a
flannel.
piece of flannel.
I like the sound
It's
of
a, it's
that.
a texture, the first textured report. It's gonna be great.
One's
Very
waiting.
Yeah, I'm worried people will watch it. Alright. I forget, was there? Oh, so in terms of getting the PDF then back, what's the turnaround for us to just double check that they didn't transpose pages or flip
I
things
don't
upside
have an
down?
expected one. As soon as they send it over, I'll push it out to you guys and
Okay.
just make sure that it's important.
Yeah.
And have you guys check it within like a day or
Do
two.
they offer any like QC level of what they send us, like, so that, there's not some silly mistake that you might miss, but, okay.
Well, that's what I was a little worried about, because I think, was it last year or the year before? Like one of the petitioned appropriations was, I think, I can't remember if it was, one was printed twice and one not at all, or one was just omitted. There was something like that, I just want to make sure we have it. I'm not expecting them to go in and suddenly wordsmith, paragraphs of text,
Yeah.
whatever, but like I said, make sure that, the airplane on the stamp isn't upside down, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's up to us, but we edited pretty well and reviewed stuff, so I don't think there will be many, if any, problems, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll touch base with them tomorrow and see how long that'll take.
Okay.
And get it out as soon as possible.
All right, and then for the informational meeting, I'm gonna try to get something out, by Friday or maybe more likely Saturday. That people can start adding sections to or comments to, so like if we get a nursing slide or two that we want to include, I'll stuff in something that we can collaborate on with that. So we've got something we can project there. Okay.
And we're gonna post it on our website eventually anyway, right?
Yeah.
The report.
Yeah, once we have a final version of it, I'll post it to the website just so everybody can see it, at least, and then, we'll get it printed and then have it sent out. So at the very least, we can let people know, hey, this is available online
Sure.
before you guys get it in person, so.
Okay. So I was gonna say, so we have a late addition to the room. Are you here as the public or as the
Public,
chair?
just a quickie. I just wanted to, I can't remember when we talked about the chairs in the balcony, if we said I could do it or not. And I was wondering if I could fix some of the chairs in the balcony.
I think everybody had agreed
I
to
think,
it.
yeah, I know there was no resistance to
Okay,
it.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to argue that.
If you were sitting here right now saying, by the way, I fixed the chairs in the balcony, I think.
Well, I almost did that. So, okay, thank you. That's all I wanted.
Okay,
That's good.
You could grab the urn for the library out of my car too.
What?
The urn for the for heating things. It's in the front seat of my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you put it in front of your fine. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
so you now have to listen to us say one thing quick back with it, which is, the original public comments, Andy Pomerantz was bringing up the listserv and saying, hey, if the town of Chelsea wants to start using the listserv to communicate stuff, I believe the library already uses it for some of their postings. And I had made a suggestion that we should probably sync up with the library and look at what Facebook groups, listservs, front porch forums, like where are all the places that somebody in town is posting stuff,
Yeah,
and make sure that we have a little bit of a collaborated thing so that somebody isn't signed up for something where the library posts thinking that all the town stuff will go there and it doesn't.
right.
So,
I think Kate does all of it, right?
He does it for us.
Yeah. so just a heads up, if you want to let Kate know, probably Tierney will reach out to Kate. We'll compare the lists of who puts stuff where
Okay.
and see if we can,
Yeah, just
Make
so
sure
it's
it's
like
consistent.
we're on the same platform.
Yeah, I'll talk to, I'm gonna talk to Kate.
yeah,
Cool.
that's it. No immediate action, just a heads up. Yeah, exactly.
And, yeah, we want to be introduced.
You don't use that.
All right. Thank you.
I do have one clarifying question about the balcony. Your intention is not to fix up the chairs so that we can fill that with people for town meeting or something.
We're allowed to have 50 people up there and
50?
50, 50, and there's like 140 chairs. up
Okay.
there. And I'm hoping that a lot of them are broken and it's all taped off right now. I'm hoping to salvage 50, so that would be 3 rows of chairs up there.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, if Sudi does a concert next year, we'll have a little bit of people up there. If we need more people for town meeting, they can sit up there, because they can't use it now.
Yeah, I don't think for the current town meeting, it'll be ready by then. And
Don't
I
challenge him.
don't, I don't know if they can hear as well up there until we have like a sound
Feels like you're
system set up.
better.
I just said I'll find a bunch of people with battery powered shows to do it. Get it done. I mean, it just seems like it'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
We do sort books up there. And, that does, and that would be better done.
Now, if you go through and you get 50 good chairs, there's gonna be parts left over.
There are,
Are you gonna be looking for a place to put that stuff?
yeah, what are we gonna do with those?
Basement?
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of wooden pieces that
Yeah.
the veneers are gone, that could be, I don't know. This is getting longer than, because that could be, yeah, I mean, you guys.
I'm just curious,
Yeah,
I think
I was thinking we'll find out how much we've got.
Yep.
And I'll come talk to you guys about
Okay.
that. And we could put them in the basement, or we could get rid of them.
Right. I guess the discretion will be kind of based on your recommendation of what's
Yeah.
remaining and how good is it or not.
Yeah, and we'll look and see, and I mean, yeah, exactly. I'd like to do the right thing with them. I don't want to fill up your basement. No.
Yeah, we just got it lit and, it looks good down there, I hear.
Oh,
Fill it up.
I did talk to a window dressing person, you guys are into window dressers, and it might be good that the south facing windows should be stored in the summer, they should be taken out and put somewhere. And came over with me, because you're gonna do them for the library too?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's, if we take the windows and we go through the bulkhead, we can get them into the basement, but we would need to store them in the basement. So it's gonna need a place, maybe twice as big as this table.
Yeah, we can
Sure, we
figure it
can
out.
figure
There's a lot of room down there,
Right.
so we should be
Now,
able
once
to
we
find
put all those
Plenty
chairs.
this year.
dry.
Okay, so yeah, I would love to coordinate storage with you guys. Big time.
Seems to make sense to keep it on the grounds.
It would make, yeah, they want to store the window dressing things flat,
Really?
apparently.
Kind of goes against glass storage.
I don't know, I think sag or something. I mean, that just means they're gonna all be about this wide from the curves, so. Okay.
Sorry, that's a rabbit holes there.
Thank
We
you
do.
very much.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
Anything else we could do before we
I know,
get to?
yeah, what else can we do?
Is there Something else we could come up with?
Quick, pull in another member of the public. We need to.
How about brownie, Rick? How about brownie? You already had one? Well, there's one.
We do have the approved orders item. We can hit that one real quick.
Move to approve order.
Then it's all Rick from there on. All right, so Paul moves to approve orders. Do we have a second?
Busy maintenance, truck maintenance. This is like the longest list of receipts for parts in a while.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve orders. Any discussion?
No, there's like tired,
Is there anything in there we need to discuss, Curtis, or are we?
no, I mean, not so far.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. All right, now I think, if I double check everything, I think that brings us to highway.
Yep.
So, Rick, the moment you've been waiting for,
Come on up.
the spotlight is yours. So we had a few things on the list. I don't know, Paul, if you wanted to jump in and drive what sequence we do stuff in.
Not necessarily. I guess we gotta kind of cover it all, so.
So the items as I see them listed are truck body availability, next equipment order, salt and sand status, and then equipment inventory and planning.
I think the last one's good. Leave last.
Leave the last one because that's the one with the
Take the most time probably.
matrix on math and
Yeah.
other stuff. Okay.
Yeah. But most of these were kind of put these together based on the feedback you've given us about availability and some salt and sand status that just make sure we're aware of. And so,
As far as the body, he said it can be like third quarter, September, October frame.
From Viking.
From Viking.
of 2026.
Yeah, just to confirm.
Just or a year on there.
Supposed to be. I talked to Kenco and they said that they could, if we did something by the 1st of February, we could be about the same time frame with them, but they're more money for their plow package.
Sorry, what did you say the time frame was?
September, October frame.
No, no, but the other option.
Viking said about the same time.
Oh, okay. So our choice is wait till September, October, or wait till September,
And pay
October, and
more.
pay more.
Wow, the only thing with the Tenco that we've had better luck with the Tenco, as far as sanding the Viking, we have a lot of trouble getting the sand out of the truck. So Ruben spends a lot of time in the back of the truck.
I saw him in there one day on the way to work.
It's, the track's a little narrower and it bridges up.
Had some cold weather and moisture in there.
Wow, that don't help. It's cold too, but we don't have as much trouble with the Tencos. Unless it's really, really cold.
And maybe next truck, Tenco, plow package.
Well, yeah, cause I mean, the only reason why I went with Viking, cause it's cheap. You know? So when it comes to sanding, the Tenco's nice.
What's the price difference?
It's about 20 grand more for a Tenco. This was 104, between 104 and 105, and theirs is about 124, 125, something like that.
Over the 10 years of its life, how much time does Ruben spend in the back of the truck moving sand around?
So that's,
More than you would expect.
So insurance employees.
you know, I mean, if you, well, we're hoping to cut back on, not 10 years on trucks, but if you did 10 years, yeah, it's only $2,000 a year, so it would be well worth going with the Tenco, but
And they seem to be available 20 months sooner if you order them at the same time.
while Tenco, they say that 8 months they can, they were 6 months, he said now 8, but salesmen say a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I can't, you know, I won't say what I said to the salesman but about it, but you don't know, you know, it's a gamble.
I mean, we ordered the Viking body, how long ago? 2 years ago?
Last,
Year and a half ago. I think it was August.
yeah.
August,
no,
September.
right.
24.
Yeah. So we're gonna be,
And like he said up there, I mean, he says, I don't blame you. Want to go somewhere else. He's been telling me that all. He probably likes the idea. If he loses a few, you know,
yeah.
kind of
cut it back.
helps him a little bit, but.
For a penny.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem switching to go with Tenco just as far as the sanding part of it, but.
How much more is it, do you know?
He says
Said
20,000.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Well, I guess for truck availability, body for this truck that you've got now, that's not gonna change then. It sounds like we'll keep it Viking. They're coming at the same time. It's already, we already know the cost. That seems to make the most
That's
sense.
already, yeah, that's already been approved through other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm hesitant to change. If they were equivalent price, I'd say no problem, but we've already, all the other public meetings, we've already gone through the pricing and the costs and stuff.
Yeah.
Once.
the next bullet is the next equipment order.
Yeah, which we probably need to. Yeah, so maybe if we get into that one, well, but I'll stop there. Does anybody have any other thoughts on it or? Again, I want to make sure I'm not undermining a recommendation. It sounds like you're okay either way. It's just a little bit more of a pain in the butt.
Well, money wise, I mean, if
Yeah.
it weren't for the money, I mean, 20,000 a lot, but then again, I mean, it's not when you're, you know, sanding 80 or 100 times and you're up in the body more than you are in the cab.
you know, so,
Is it really that problematic? Is it like,
oh,
a-
yeah.
so it's not a once in a while thing, it's a
Yeah,
constant?
it's quite often.
Does
I
it
mean,
have the same?
Once in
spec?
a while, he doesn't have to get up in the back, but what's that?
So does it have the same, the new one, will it have the same specs,
Yeah.
the same size?
What it is, the track is a little bit narrower than the Viking. And I think that's just the difference of it getting in there and bridging up. Bridge is up right over the track and you gotta get up in there and like one day on Edwards Road, I do it 6 times before you gotta come out right. You know? I mean, he's young enough, it's not as big, I mean, when Paul was doing it, I didn't want him doing that. But it all depends on the sand. I mean, we had a lot of rain this year too, so you don't, you know. Maybe we can get the sand up quicker and a little drier, maybe it'll, I definitely would help, but.
Yeah, how much does building a structure for the sand? Like, how much does one of those things cost?
A big deal, yeah.
Well, I know it's how big you want it, but how big for the size that we would need? Like, is it, if somebody turns around and says that's $100,000 to build one of the fabric ones or something, that's 5 trucks worth of upcharge. Keep crappy sand, which we've had sand issues for other reasons. I don't know, I'm just thinking about other.
Yeah, I saw in Berlin, they built one for this farm building, they're out of waste blocks, they had that, it's one of them pool barns on top, it's, we were trying to figure that the other day, what it costs to build one for the size sand pile we had. And we figured you probably could do one for about 100,000.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seems like we also have sand problems.
And the sand piles,
Yeah.
they're going up against the road.
Yeah.
It's a big structure.
Of course, this year we had the rain 2 or 3 times and we've had such cold. I mean, I don't even remember ever having as much cold as we've had this year. It's been in the last week. It
Double
was
digits
5 to
or,
20 below a week. I don't. We can try this one and see how it works. We already got it planned, so.
Well, if the others jump in if they're gonna.
No, I would agree. We've had so many discussions about it to then go back and say, we have to add another $20,000. I agree with you about having better equipment. And that sometimes it's worth paying for, but I think, I don't know, had we known,
I would be tempted to say if we get another delay from Viking, it may be worth revisiting again though and saying, because again, if it's a matter of, not spending a little bit more and getting it in the same time, it's a matter of spending a little bit more and getting it. Period.
Yeah,
That starts to lay into it a bit.
the only thing, I don't know if that'll happen, but is after town meeting, that'll change as far as with Tenco, because a lot of people approve new equipment,
And then go
and then
get in the
so
line.
that they'll be backed up more. I mean, you won't get it done as quick.
Gotcha.
Well, this is our table of kind of equipment. Well, it kind of shows the order at least, which is kind of the next item we have down here as far as what will be ordered next. This just kind of shows us our priority that we established. We did say that we need something to haul
You mind zooming in a little bit?
fluoride.
Yeah, it's good. For me at least.
yeah, me too.
I guess Rick is the one that's most important to use. Okay.
Talked about the chloride truck needing an immediate replacement because we needed something sustainable and legal to use. And then the next things were another truck, a loader, and potential tractor, which is kind of the next group, which would mean potentially coming up with proposals and ordering soon to have them by 27.
Yeah.
I mean, the loader is not, I mean, you can have that within 2 or 3 months. That's not a big deal. Same as the tractor, just the truck would be you wanna get on that.
And these 4x4s, are these the 4-wheel drive dump trucks even more difficult to get than a regular?
No, the trucks they're, now you can get them like in 3 or 4 months.
This
It's
plow
just a
package.
plow package.
And there's not a difference between a plow package between a 4x4-wheel drive dump truck and a regular, okay.
A little bit cheaper because it's smaller body. But I think Ted Girl told me it was like 118 probably for that package.
So do you have what's your thoughts on something to replace that chloride truck? Do you want to come up with something that says, hey, I found this, this will work?
I've been looking, just keeping my eye on truck paper and stuff, just to see if you find a pretty decent, used truck.
Like a small dump truck, is that what you're looking at?
I've been looking pretty much everything.
Whatever that you can find. I mean, what's our angst at how urgent do we need this?
Well, we should have something by
summer, right?
May.
So we just need to set a deadline for ourselves to find something in the next
Yeah.
3 months or something like that.
Sometime in May, chloride.
Do you want help with that? Like, how do you figure that works best to come up with that option?
I just keep looking.
Just keep looking.
Just keep swimming, but I can, I check all the dealers. Truck paper, I mean, they have 8,000 trucks on there, just keep looking to see if there's one that's, looks like a good deal.
Do you go beyond Vermont borders?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
mostly all in New England, mostly.
Okay.
So that one basically you're handling, but we just need to be ready when you find one to say, looks good, because obviously you can't take them, once you find one, we gotta make a move. It's a used truck,
Right.
it's one.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking a lot at, like older truck that's in really good shape. That doesn't have like plow gear on it, but,
If you
I don't
find,
know if we could find something that was good with the plow gear, it'd be kind of nice just to have for a spare.
agree.
Probably more used stuff though, too.
Oh, that's the problem. They get, they run in the salt.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I did intensify your search if you're able to, and, we can all poke around too and give you information we find.
Yeah, if you guys are bored, wanna look at it. Go for it.
don't tempt.
No, I do think it's important though that we get, like, let's speed up this process, because I think it took way too long to get the truck we're now waiting on. In the queue. Let's see if we can.
I think like, if we're gonna do something with it.
Well, that's
16, I think we should get on it and get it, because if we can at least get the body company secured, so we get on their schedule. I mean, as far as the truck, that's 3-4 months, so it's not a big deal. Right now, like I said, Tenco's 8 months and Viking's 1.5 years, so.
And I think we had talked about you reaching out to get some preliminary like quotes for that, to replace that truck. You've done that yet?
I did get one from, ATG, where we got the 10-wheeler.
Yeah.
And all set up about 320,000.
Okay. And did you get a number for Peterbilt or something? Cause I know
No,
you
I
were,
haven't got anybody else.
okay. Cause you weren't that thrilled with International anymore, right? After your current truck.
I mean, I think from the taxpayer's perspective, if we can get 3 prices, it just shows due diligence and
Oh, yeah.
that we are,
can get
getting our
three
best.
I mean, I didn't think we were gonna do that right now. I didn't know,
Do
when
it.
I called them, I didn't,
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, we can do it. I called to see what kind of front ends they still had, because like Brookfield has a Marmon Harrington front end. We have a Meritor, and Tunbridge has got the hydraulic front end. And the Meritor's been nothing but a headache, so that's.
What's a hydraulic front end?
It's just like the grader, there's little motors on the front wheels.
I can see that going either way.
And, I mean, the graders never had any trouble with them, so. Tunbridge hasn't had, they had a solenoid issue, but that's all they've had this one over there, so. That's pretty cheap compared to our front end, it's 20-30,000.
Can't they just use a screwdriver like I always had? Uh-huh.
The all-purpose tool.
The loader to me is the real question mark, because that's an item for this year, and I'm still. The loader is on this list because of its age, right? That's the one you said, like, it's been great. No,
As soon as you replace it, you're gonna have problems.
Up to now it is.
I know, that's-
Guaranteed.
So my question with that, with the loader specifically, is like, what is the, because you said that's actually fairly quick. Like, if we needed a loader, that's an off the shelf thing, get a
Yeah,
couple
you
months
can
or
get a loader.
something.
Yeah, you can get a loader within 2 or 3 months.
So I don't know, like, there's part of me that almost says, how long do you gamble with the loader? Because the loader also, at least in the past year, looking at these things, like, you also haven't had to do much to it. Like, I don't see, so like, to me, that's like my Subaru. Like, sure, it has almost 300,000 miles on it, but I trust because it's old and it does things correctly and I know what it needs. Whereas, like, we could buy a new loader and now we've got all that emission stuff and all the headache that comes along with that. Like, does it make sense to keep using the loader, knowing that if we really had to, we could replace it more quickly?
I mean, it is 26 years old.
Yeah.
And eventually something's gonna go. It's
Yeah.
been pretty,
But when
it's
something,
been pretty bulletproof.
what's a thing that goes though? Because I feel like something like the engine isn't gonna just go, most likely. It could, but
Transmission.
I feel like it'd be transmission or something.
Transmission.
And what does a
Front
transmission
end,
cost to rebuild on one of those things? Is it $80,000 or
No, I
something?
would say probably 30.
Okay,
30-ish.
because to me, like, even when you say that, that doesn't even sound that bad. We spent half that much
Oh.
on the front end on.
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, right, when we were doing our sort of, projected ballpark estimates, we're saying, hey, if we're, if we were to spread out the cost of this and spend almost, 40,000 a year on it. I guess the question is, do we think we'd spend more than 40,000 on maintenance for something that's been pretty bulletproof? Or do we roll the dice a few more years and then when major stuff starts breaking?
Bring it back into the circulation.
Yeah.
Because
Placement.
to that point, you threw out the number, was it 30 or 40? Yeah, I already can't remember. That's like what we're assuming is the annual payment for a new one. So that thing could have its transmission die every single year and it'd still be cheaper to keep it go, or equivalent to keep it going without. I'm just really nervous with this emission stuff.
Wow, I'm hoping that they're changing on the agricultural side. I'm hoping that maybe the construction side are gonna do something with it.
But then that's the moment we buy the new one.
That's all I say.
Because it'll go away as
So
soon
we
as it
got
comes back.
3 years or less.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I say.
I'm just
Wait
thinking.
and see if they change it. If they do, we'll buy one.
What's say the transmission goes, what's the turnaround time on getting something like that fixed?
Depends how busy they are.
Like
I mean, it
weeks or months.
It could be a month. But you can rent,
Okay,
that's the thing about a loader. You can rent a loader. They rent them by the month. That size loader is probably $5,000-6,000 for a month. So that's the thing about the loader.
If you could rent it for 8 months, it'll still be.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
That.
No, but I just mean.
But Fellows have loaders
I thought we were-
and most of them are big, but they got a couple of smaller ones. They'd probably be more than willing to rent to us.
Price is too big.
We could rent one from any dealer, probably have it within a couple of days.
So there's no consequence of failure that says the loader breaks and now we're like screwed for a month.
No, I mean, we have the backhoe in a bind, but I wouldn't wanna load trucks with that for very long and just,
No, I'm just thinking
Doesn't
that, so
work
there might be a temporary inconvenience. but
yeah. for a day or two. But the loader's the least of my worry because, I mean, not to say that we shouldn't trade it at some point, but we can get another loader,
Yeah.
you know, and not spend a ton of money.
Right.
I like the idea of a solid known piece of equipment that we have that wouldn't cripple us if something did happen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the one that,
Like, I know it's on the list, but I'm just feels like almost like there should be a color grading to like low priority, high priority, medium
Risk,
priority.
yeah.
Well, I know, but the priorities are kind of roughly just the timeline priority, and we had the loader up really early, but the more I started thinking about it, the more I was like,
We brought it up early because it's so,
It's
because of his
age,
age,
yeah.
that was it, really.
not really
which you don't hear too many towns that have a 26-year-old loader.
like the,
Most of them trade about every 10, 15 years.
We'll show those other towns.
Yeah. Yeah, we showed them this year.
but like that tractor, I'd love to get that in the queue. That's an annoying thing to not have for a couple of reasons, and it's also slated. And even if that, I don't know, there's no reason we have, like, we're certainly not obligated to be spending this money just because we put it in a spreadsheet and ran the
Mhm.
numbers. If
We just wanted
can,
to have.
Right.
Create.
No, but I think
buy-in.
that with the amount of equipment we got, we should be buying something.
right,
It doesn't matter what we buy, but we should be because it's just not,
Well, that's,
We
it's
wanna
gonna
get-
build up.
We gotta create that
We've got-
section.
yeah.
we wanna get out of
Keep
this.
it-
Well, there's a risk any given day, there's a risk that any of these suddenly just
You know,
disintegrate,
I mean,
right?
we
But-
haven't bought, other than that truck, I mean, well, 2 trucks. I mean, it's been, the other trucks are 10 years old, you know, so we've replaced one and then we just got that one this year, but
Mhm.
you know, that's a long time to go without replacing something.
But I like, so the next thing on the list would be the other
Another truck.
10-wheeler,
Yeah.
right? And so like, does it just make sense to swap that and the loader, which I realize isn't, we're not doing, then we're in the 2 trucks are the same age game again. But the truck is a very long lead time item as well.
Well, and the,
Yeah.
and the 2 trucks are the same age thing. If we, assume we can't see into the future, but I can imagine that 5 or 7 years from now, we might not be equally happy with both trucks. It may be that one of them is bulletproof like the loader and we hold on to it for a few extra years, and one of them is, you know, thanks, let's get something better quicker.
We've thought things were bulletproof before.
No,
Hold
all
on to it too
I
long.
mean is the fact that if we get 2 trucks that are roughly the same age now, it doesn't mean that we would upgrade them at the same time later.
It seems like we gotta create some stagger.
I agree, but that stagger doesn't all have to happen, like, if we said, oh, a stagger's gotta happen starting today, then that means that we'd be like, oh, one of your trucks is gonna be 17 years old before we.
Right,
bother
and
doing
also,
something.
it's not necessarily, I think the concept was staggering equipment, not necessarily staggering trucks. It was
It's trying to
just a
stagger the
blend.
price tag for the
Right.
town.
So if the 10-wheeler and the loader swapped, that doesn't hurt the staggering concept. It just puts the equipment that's old, you know, I'd say oldest, the most critical pieces of equipment, getting them replaced sooner, in the sense that we know the trucks are problematic with how long it takes to get them.
And they're the most critical.
And they're the
piece.
most critical piece in terms of, we can't just
Yeah.
magically.
You can't just get one, red
Right.
one, or get one off the lot.
Yeah, I would definitely be in favor of, if we think it's appropriate to swap positions for priority because of the criticality, that would make a lot of sense to me, because the staggering is gonna happen naturally just based on what we're trying to do, so.
How long do they allow you to do extended warranty?
7 years.
Okay, so it's not like you can keep doing year. After that.
They'll close out in 7 years. Big
I'm
truck.
sure someone will send you a cellular warranty for as long as you
Oh,
want.
probably.
I'll show
Shaquille
you
O'Neal,
right now.
he's got
$85,000 a year.
I can certainly swap that around, and dollar wise, it's $4,000 difference, basically. Can we jump back just for a second to say you find a truck tomorrow for the chloride situation? What's our process to get that blessed by? Do we know that like enough that we don't need to talk about it again, or like if we gotta wait 2 more weeks?
That's what I'm worried about, is I don't,
What's our process?
I've seen trucks online that are at auctions that I really wanted to, I was gonna buy myself, and then, but my girlfriend's like, you know, they gotta buy it for you, so why are you gonna pay for it, you know, so.
No, I think that is covered under like the emergency purchases, so I think we could go with, if you find something, we can go ahead and get it through and then talk about it. I mean, you can work with Paul and Curtis for that too. But I don't
I think
think
if
we
you
would
came in-
necessarily need to wait for the next.
well, does it,
select board
are we
meeting.
allowed to just? I don't know how to do this, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Can we make a motion to approve up to $25,000 for Rick to buy a truck and,
So that seems better to me,
yeah,
that we, so basically approved within your judgment to go do this, especially for $25,000, that's not,
right, and
for the $300,000 items, we might wanna have more of a discussion and make sure we're getting everything we think and ask some questions, but even there, your opinions, your recommendation is gonna be
If I found something, I'd
heavy.
talk to those guys anyway.
Yeah.
Usually
Is it something that work with Gail and she gives you a check? Like, how does that literally work? Do you know, like, you know what you'd have to do?
Well, like Auction International and stuff, those, I've looked at that a lot, other towns are selling stuff. Like Milton had a nice 6-wheeler for sale. And that brought like 35,000. You have a certain amount of time to get, you gotta get a check in a certain amount of time, maybe some, can't remember how many hours it is, but
You can put a reserve bid.
you bid on it, and then
Yeah.
if you get it, which they have the right to decline it, bid, whatever, if it's not enough or whatever. But say, sometimes they have some nice ones on there.
Just 25, get us a truck that's gonna be decent enough, long enough, or is there?
Well, as far as plow gear and stuff, you don't buy much for 25,000, but if you're just buying a truck, there is some nice old trucks for, 10, 15,000 that get you probably 10 years just chloride.
that's what I think is. I honestly think, although it'd be great to have the plow gear, to have the spare, I think we would be better served looking for something that's not been used as a plow and get more life out of it ourselves, knowing we're gonna rot it. The heck, but at least it's not pre-rotted when we buy it.
Yeah.
Then it's 3 years.
also gotta be hard on the transmission,
It's hard in everything. That's why I like, just don't.
Yeah.
drivetrain.
We
The only
gotta,
nice thing
And
is
you want that
get something
to be
with plow
warranty.
gear, if you,
Yeah.
fire trucks break down, you have something for, cause that L8000 we used to use all the time as a spare. Up until the last probably 5 years, we have that.
You buy a truck that hasn't been plowed with as a used truck, but then buy used plow gear, it'll go on that used truck that has never been plowed with.
That's.
Do you want anyone to actually plow the road?
Well, I'll keep looking. See what they do.
Yeah,
I'll just leave the plow gear throughout town. It's like, plow it yourself.
hook up, let's go.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
so-
start to the library and you could check it out with little cards.
That's great. Do we have a plow gear closet?
He
I
does.
was gonna say, isn't there one across the street?
Yes.
In the creamery.
Community plow.
All right, so in terms of this then, so that we can, I like Curtis's idea of, hey, can we approve something now, like up to a certain amount? And then at your discretion, if something comes up that we're gonna lose, if we don't act quickly, then you've got it. You've got that in your back pocket that you can go to, so.
Yeah, and then you just have to work with Gail to be able to
Get the
write a
money.
check for it.
Right, at that point, it's approved, so you know that you're working within. So I guess coming back to, I think it was Chuck's question, is 25 the right number though? Because I don't like, I hate the idea of you missing out on something because it's 25, 5, or.
Yeah, 30 or 35.
It all depends. I mean, like I said, you can find stuff without the plow gear.
If we're just, if we're going with Curtis's suggestion that, no, if we're gonna do plow gear, let's do it on a truck that's meant to be a plow, that's got that we can get a 7-year warranty, you know, like beat it up ourselves. If we say, no, this is not for that purpose, and you're confident that we can get something for more like 15 or 20 or something like that, then 25 gives you enough buffer to go get something, right?
Well, not for, if you're gonna get a decent plow truck, you're not gonna get it for 25,000.
Yeah, I'm saying don't. get
He's
the
not,
plow.
You're saying,
not
right.
get one, just like, say if I find one down the line that's never been plowed, it's in
You
immaculate
want to
shape.
find a dump truck that they used to deliver mulch for 2 years before they went out of business, but they bought it new.
Just used it in the
Yeah,
summer.
exactly.
I mean, you do see them.
Like, that's
10,
why-
15 grand range.
Well, let's start with something at least.
Yeah, I'm just trying to circle us in on can we make a decision tonight so that Rick can have money to spend if he comes across something that fits.
We wanna start at 25, and if
Yeah,
a couple months go by and nothing worth buying
we'll give it a
comes up,
month or two, yeah,
Yeah.
that way.
If you can't find
Don't
anything
tell
within
us.
that price range, then just let us know.
Yeah, then just
Okay.
come back.
Yeah, then I would say,
I would much rather, right, I would much rather start pre-authorizing you to go get stuff than what we've been doing, which is you gotta come and update us every 2 weeks and there's an automatic delay on this stuff.
Can I go back to the 4x4 international?
Should we vote on the value
yes.
first to do,
Yeah.
just to cover that? Sorry, I wasn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I think you're right to finish the one bit of business.
At least the
for me.
not to exceed or the up to amount.
I'll make a motion to, allow Rick to buy a truck to be used as a chloride truck at his discretion. The cost not to exceed $25,000.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and just clarifying or confirming that was 25,000, right?
Yep.
So going with the, we had there. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That passes, so you can start knocking around. All right, so now you
Well, I
have,
just, I
Not the shiny
wanna,
toy, but-
I feel like we didn't
We'll get you a better toy.
decide on a timeline for the 4x4. And we know it's urgent, right? We know this is the truck that cost $57,000 to
Yeah,
fix last
54.
year. 54,000, okay, so. So when do we make a decision about moving forward, knowing the amount of time that it takes to get those trucks? When should
well, I
that?
won't, I think we get 2 or 3 numbers and make a move in the next month or 2 or
so,
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, the sooner we can get them, the sooner we can move on it and get it in the queue.
so the 320 that you have there, that's the one that you did get, right? So are there 3 possible sources for that truck as well?
Oh, yeah.
And you want to get away from internationals?
No, but I can get the price.
Yeah,
Does that have the same size body as the current one?
They will all have the same size.
Okay, because I was wondering if maybe for this one, maybe you would go with the, like the Tenco being larger for the,
Oh, I'd like to go with Tenco, but, I mean, at the price, but, yeah, I don't know what the price is on Viking now, so.
but it's the same thing. So you get the chassis first and then you get in line for the,
But yeah, I can get
Purchase
the
of-
prices on the bodies.
okay.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The Viking price we have right now is 2.5 years old, so maybe the Tanko price isn't that much different after all. And it's
Yeah,
20 months faster.
Yeah, they're just holding that price, so, like,
Right.
and we've paid for the chassis.
Yeah.
Right, and we paid outright for it.
yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't have to finance, but we'll have to finance the 4x4.
Yeah.
And what kind of a down payment are we talking about for a $320,000 truck? Is it 10 or 20% like a mortgage?
It's whatever you wanna do. I mean, you can take what we have in the fund, because we'll get 140,000 this year,
Okay,
and then whatever was left over, and then we get rid of 10-wheeler we got now, I mean, we might have like 200. You know,
We wouldn't want to deplete that fund though, because of the potential for something else, you know.
Right.
Still won't deplete it, yeah, completely, but, you know,
No.
use it for its intended purpose, which
Yeah.
is to offset new equipment costs.
Yeah.
We'll probably wanna have Gail at the table to get into the details of what the options are and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but. No, I like your thinking,
Interest rates.
it's good.
see what some interest rates are on it, you know, too.
Yeah. And we have this kind of structured that we would be looking at the next replacement piece when a 7-year warranty would be, you know, a year before that expires or something, is when we're looking at the next piece to
Right, so
replace.
Right, so the alarm goes off for us to start looking before we hit the, oh geez, has it been 12 years already?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you said 7 years still sounds about,
Yeah,
so,
well, you can just budget someone better, you know,
well, that's what we're trying to
like this year,
do.
we can never budgeted last year knowing we're gonna spend an extra $60,000 on equipment. Yeah, on repairs. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the big ticket items here, that 392 is the other one, and how imminent, is that also as a grader? You said you can borrow them from other communities or rent them,
Now graders are hard to find.
are they?
Yeah, so what
Curtis
they can do.
You gotta go,
Loader is pretty easy, but.
but the graders not.
How much do you want for us to borrow the grader?
Oh, I don't think we would use that grader.
it was Tonka, that was the brand.
I wish. It was one of those.
The pickup, I'm gonna do body work on this year, and I have to buy new front fenders. And I have to do some on the back, it's starting to rust.
Do you wanna come back to the next meeting with, see if we can get the quotes for the other ones? Or do you think it might be a little bit longer than 2 weeks to get the quotes back for the international?
Yeah, I don't know, depends how busy they are.
Okay, I'm just thinking, cause,
That's how much it
the
snows.
meeting after that would be town meeting. So we'd have to push it out to the 17th of March to come back to
Well-
talk about any quotes.
I mean, the last truck, we put it out to bid.
Yeah.
So, did we wanna do that, or just get 3 quotes,
You mean we put out an RFP or something
you
and
know?
we just waited for responses and we got 2 responses? Is that how it works?
Well, there's only 2 bodies that we did, but we got, no, I think we didn't get international, cause their pricing was, they couldn't get the pricing at the time.
Yeah.
So
What's-
we only
what's
got
most-
Freightliner and I think we only got Freightliner.
I can put out an RFP if you get me the specs for it. I'd be fine
Yeah,
with
I
doing that.
You think that's
So
our
we did
best
that.
way to,
Yeah, what's the most
In the
competitive
past,
price?
we always just would get 2-3 quotes. Yeah.
I think that's fine, honestly, with how significant of a purchase it is. We can double check with the purchasing
Right, I was
policy,
gonna say,
but
as
that's
long
one
as
of
we're, as
those.
long as we're in alignment with the purchasing policy, I would say whatever's the most efficient for you. So that
I
we
mean, I
don't
could
jump into extra hoops if we don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, I can just call, Charlie Boys and ATG.
Sweet.
Well, it's
Needs to-
specialized equipment and there's only a couple of vendors that can do exactly what you're looking for, so
Yeah, I can give
It
you.
is slow down. Lift the bed.
let's do that then, because I think that'll be easier.
Are they all in Vermont or New England?
I think
Charlie
Charlie
Boys,
Boys.
ATG's in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Charlie Boys and International Allegiance is up Colchester and Jericho.
we're not held to any Buy America at the local government level, are we? Good.
That's what I was thinking about, vehicles from the south and vehicles from out west, you know, that
I've never seen salt.
I've never seen this all. Yeah.
Shows way ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
You found it.
I found this 1993
In Mississippi.
With 89,000 miles on it, with
There we go.
no salt in its whole life.
And how much is that one?
$4,500.
Gee.
Let's get two.
It looks like somebody has used it for 30 years to haul mulch.
I was sure you were gonna pull up like a Florida plow truck.
No, it's a
Yeah,
same
same
the strange dump truck.
Ah,
It was definitely run by somebody who does not have a commercial driver's license.
So are you
It needs
thinking,
brake lights.
That's probably non-CDL instructor.
I would guess so.
You're gonna have to have a CDL.
so maybe this fall, is that when we start looking at getting tractor prices? Since that's a much quicker turnaround or something like that?
Wait, I thought we were aiming for the tractor for this summer so we could mow and.
Well, it's,
things like
I'm just
that.
looking at the year, so
Oh.
that's all.
I can get tractor prices.
Prices can't hurt. Like, we're not spending money that, we're looking at prices. Start getting just in the ballpark, I guess.
I mean, if we don't get a tractor right away, it doesn't kill us. We've got other
We can run.
We have ways to,
options, right? Yeah. So I would suggest maybe the way to go ahead is, so we know a couple of things that we want to get moving on right away, right? We already approved one. We know we want to get the quotes on the other stuff. That's two items then that are already moving in our queue, which feels way better than when it was known. Maybe the thing to do is if we get those two things moving, maybe revisit the prioritization of the rest of the stuff that's on there, like reconsider the loader. Like, hey, what's the worst case scenario look like if the loader does break? If it's, 30,000 to fix a transmission or whatever, it's like, well, that's actually still less than the price of, payment on a new one.
I mean, I'd definitely buy a tractor before I'd buy the loader.
Yeah.
If we're gonna buy a tractor, because I mean, we'd save this year alone, 20 grand to put towards it.
So maybe then, given the discussion we've had here, assuming there's nothing else urgent or critical, I think maybe then Paul and Curtis, you guys can work with Rick and revisit the prioritization of what the rest of the ranking on the rest of the list. And if there are other things that start to bubble up, especially if there's a lead time on it, then we can start looking at what specs you would want for the next piece of equipment.
Sounds good.
If we could do that. Okay.
Runs good, sounds good.
Check it out.
I'm gonna see. you.
so that's really three of the items.
That's three, right? So salt and sand is then the only other item, right?
Yep. I'll see you.
I just got salt from Barrett's from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It was 120, it was a little more expensive because they had to go down there to get it because we're just about out. And so it was $12 more a ton,
You said salt?
so, so it's $400 more, but
How much did you
get
get?
it. What's
How
that?
much did you get?
33.44 ton
Did that come in on a tractor trailer or something?
trip, yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
They told you they had to
We
go to
can't-
Portsmouth to get
Yeah,
it.
because they can't get it, nobody can get it, you can't get it.
it's all over the news, the towns are
Tunbridge
running.
is all out, Royalton's out, I mean, all the towns around are out, Williamstown's out.
I think is it St. Albans or St. Johnsbury, they're not, because they can't sand the bottoms of all the roads, you can only go uphill. You can't, because they can't guarantee you'll be able to stop at the stop sign at the bottom of the hill. How about that?
I see a potential flaw.
Everyone's stuck at the top. That was actually on the news.
Everybody has cell service though.
Public radio.
No, I figured for 12, I mean, extra $400,
Cheap to me.
Oh, yeah.
we need it.
Hopefully that
You
gets.
know, I don't really like the idea of paying more, but we're already paying too much for salt, but
You could pay less and not have it, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, with how unpredictable the weather.
We actually did that's the one we sanded our blacktops.
I was just gonna ask you that.
I didn't put salt out till Wednesday.
Yeah, I prefer about the band salt.
I'd be fine with it if everybody else would do it.
Yeah, no, that's the problem.
But
Think about how much
you get
water.
Randolph up there,
Equipment would last.
Tuesday, they plastered and it was all bare. They bared it right out,
Scorched earth policy.
but I just,
Yeah.
So you feel a little better about where we are on salt for another.
yeah, we'll be
month,
good. I mean, we're good for,
Hopefully.
I should be able to salt at least 8 or 9 times at least.
Okay.
Winter's over, right?
They should just make tires out of salt.
I don't know.
God, that's
County
brilliant.
bills, otherwise.
So that.
Only salt where you need it.
There'd be more deer
We
interaction.
got a lot that's froze, but we're able to get into it, so,
It's gonna drop again this weekend.
yeah, oh yeah.
I saw rain next week though.
Great. Why'd you say it?
In Florida.
Yeah, we don't need rain.
Wow.
We got through January without salt.
We're hoping, I mean, we got a little bit of a roof there, I'm hoping that, you know, we'll be all right.
I think it is worth looking into a structure for that sand. For sure. Especially, we got Ruben on staff now, he used to do that kind of stuff, maybe he can put a price together for us to have some planning material.
What do the dimensions of a structure need to be?
Put it on a 70 by 100, about size of the garage.
Yeah. That place to put
But
it.
there's a company, Lucier, that does it. I thought about calling them, it's just,
I have a really recent price that I can pull up for what they cost and different options for
are
how.
they building in up there? There.
Is there any type of MEP in it at all?
No.
I didn't think so, just dry. It's just
Oh,
A can
The
of,
first year was supposed to get one, but they didn't tell you.
I mean, when they build them like buildings, there's lights in there, but that's as much as there ever is.
So you don't know what size that one is?
I can get it.
Yeah,
I'll send her to see.
how many, how many yards they use up there?
Could you fit everything you all stand for a single season under a 70 by 100?
I think so, I mean, we figured it out. Can't remember what we figured out, was it 4,000 or that we could fit?
Most of it.
Yeah, most of it, like I said, at the beginning of the year, you could put it, well, you could put outside.
Use it
that
first.
I just don't, I mean, my introduction to this was, we can't use half of our sand because it got wet.
Frozen.
So like, as much as I hate assets that require maintenance and replacement, whatever, it also seems totally pointless to me to have a pile of sand that we can't do anything with, so.
But didn't, we had this conversation when we just started on the select board, remember that? When
Yeah.
We were talking about the sand freezing,
Right. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
and I'm thinking, so, and so it doesn't need a foundation, it just needs, it needs 3 sides.
They literally
Right.
build them with just concrete blocks
Yeah,
and put a
this-
hoop over the
This
top.
one up here with just the waste blocks. But I would like to see a town, 'cause I've never seen it, how it is, you know, if they have any chunks or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, like if you build this and then you have the same
Yeah,
problem.
so I'd like to see, I think Waybridge has one. Buy that before,
Build it right at the Heathfield.
perfect place.
I mean, the state must use them, right? They must have.
If they knew somebody I could call and just ask them.
State, I've just seen.
At all?
Very little.
But they cover their salt though, I would imagine. Right?
Yeah, they have sheds for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They have regular sheds.
How tall would it need to be?
Big. We'll see it from here.
Oh, yeah. it'd be
We'll-
5 feet tall.
Say it again.
25 feet. You gotta go down here.
Yeah.
They're ugly. I mean, that's definitely a downside.
It's unused boundary space.
It's covered.
You want all this?
I mean, Richard, we've been down here 10 years, but last. Or jumps for that, I mean, we've had some winters where there aren't anything. I mean, depends what you get for rain and what you get for cold.
So I was gonna ask, what did we
Get it
do, what
with
did we do
snow,
before
get the
this?
regular winters and have snow on it, no rain. You don't have the trouble. But the insulates it.
Those skulls. Are these napkins?
When's the last
We'll
time
put
we
that
had
on.
a rain winter?
I love
I think it's worth talking about planning.
Yeah,
See what that looks
so,
like.
so maybe this go, I don't know if we would,
Add it to this list, right?
yeah, I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
it's ahead of the greatest, but it's a capital investment.
See.
It's ahead of the
how they
grader.
like that.
Yeah, ahead of the.
Yeah, I think it would help a lot. I'd like to find out.
I can't see how it would cost $100,000 to build a three-sided filter.
You would
It's
think.
really big.
25 feet tall.
Just ask Tierney, it's a lot smaller than that.
The waste blocks probably be somewhere around 30,000-40,000 just for the waste, all the waste blocks you need to put underneath that. And then,
And you're volunteering to build it, right?
well, no, I'd have that company do it. I mean, we could put the waste blocks in, but they would.
I'm
come
just
put the-
black.
They would come put the building up.
I'm sure that we could get the same crew of electric screwdrivers that are gonna work on the chairs to come canopies.
Maybe we can build it out of spare chair parts. Oh, is that all you wanted to cover for highway?
I mean, the only other thing you could do is we could dig out more of the banks down there, make a bigger area and put up more sand. Then it wouldn't be a problem toward up.
These Randolph Road will kind of fall in eventually and then.
Well, no, ideal would have been along the East Randolph Road, have all the way from our line to where we back in the sand now, have that all built right out 25 feet where you can dump your 1.25 inch pile of your sand, you know, have different piles in there. It would be nice to dump all that out. Then you could just pull it off there and back in each spot.
So is that an impossibility at this point? Does it mean that we need to go back to the
Well,
state,
I mean,
permits to dig on stuff or?
just have to, we'd have to put drainage in because some of it's wet. Like where the 1.25 inch pile is, that's pretty wet. We'd have to do a little work, so. But it is possible.
Is that something that was addressed in the zoning bylaws too? Is that something that would be part of the consideration?
The bylaws talk about, not so much excavation for this purpose, it was excavation like, a quarry, a gravel pit, a sand pit. But not a pit to store your sand. But there's still gonna be some practical
I'm sure there's some.
thing that says like, it's just generally a bad idea to just go dig indiscriminately into the side.
Heading towards the road.
Yeah.
Well, just stuff to think about.
Yeah. It just makes so much sense to me to shelter the sand.
We move to executive session.
If we're all set, which I think we are, so we've hit those 4 big bullet
The
points.
only other thing I was gonna say is V-Trans had a grant, safety grant out there and I met with Rita and we applied for it. It was for 50,000, no matching.
Nice.
And I'm gonna try to do all my guardrails on the brick road. Because I don't like the code. So we're gonna do them,
Have you got your,
Hall Road.
got the quantity on what there is there now?
Yeah, Rita and I went out and measured everything up.
Rita's awesome.
And, so we're gonna do pretty much everything on the Brook Road and Hall Road and some up by Kennedy Drive. And one tree we're gonna take down by Town Farm. Cause you can take trees down too.
Where's Hall Road? What's that?
Hall Road off Jenkins Brook up where, RJ Hoyt lives.
Oh, okay.
Where they're
Up
all,
toward Dick Lightford's.
yeah, yeah,
Philip Mulligan used to live up on.
yeah.
Holland.
right at the bottom.
He doesn't anymore.
No, they're in Lev, New Hampshire.
I didn't know they moved.
Yeah. The loss.
But yeah, I figured the guardrails, we never budgeted enough to fix them and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cost of steel thing.
it's
Yeah.
expensive to do it, so I figured that would be a perfect grant. to
Yeah.
Try to get them all fixed out,
It's the right road for it too.
so.
That's right.
That's the
we-
plan this summer.
As far as the evaluation of where that guardrail needs to be, are you just gonna replace in kind, or we need to kind of evaluate if there's any other areas needed?
We're just replacing what's there,
Replace in kind for now? Okay.
so they're all the standard height.
Yeah, they're all short.
Just like the ones on the village.
They're not gross, the ground is just, risen.
Get a good SUV, be right up on top of them.
All right, so are we good on the overall highway update then?
So,
All right, so then, other than adjournment, the only other thing then is executive session, which we do have another topic for Rick.
yeah, we got personnel.
I think, right, yep, so we have a personnel thing, is there a motion?
Are we gonna have to go in and come back out and then go back in again? Do we have more than one personnel thing to go over?
No.
There's only one thing that I see, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just have to come back on.
That's good, thank you. And I move to go to executive session and invite Rick. Second, and Tierney. Second.
And that is for the purpose of discussing a personnel issue, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carrie is temporarily absent, but that's enough to pass anyway. So we will now enter executive session at 8:11 PM.
Wow.
Are we back on? Yep.
I will make a motion to exit executive session.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's approved at 8:28. We are back out of executive session, having discussed a personnel issue with another motion to come.
I will make a motion to extend a full-time employment opportunity to Ruben Hook at his current rate for the road maintenance worker position.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. With that, that brings us to our final item on the agenda, which is adjournment, if anybody would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, I heard Curtis first. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? At 8:29 PM, we are adjourned.